Hey gang, so we got a new patch, as I'm sure you're seeing. I'm sure your YouTube algorithm is blowing you up with all of these things. Yeah, there's some pleasant surprises in this one and some things that aren't really surprises at all, but let's get it. Okay, so we'll just start out here with what's in the patch. Honestly, CIG is kind of showing a lot of these things. There's always things that are kind of hidden in the patch, and there are people that do the shadow patch notes. Highly recommend that you go and look at those. The 5-star does a particularly good review of the shadow patch notes, so I recommend checking out his channel. I'm just going to talk about the stuff that's actually in there, just because it's what I have the most experience with. As a heads up, the same thing that I say every time there's a new patch is, when should you jump in? 1 week after the patch drops. I was in the PTU last night and getting like 10 to 15 frames per second in Orison, testing out like Wickelow's place and things like that. It might be smoother in the PU. I have not had a chance to jump in. I was going to jump in right after recording this vid, so we'll see. But again, if you don't like bugs or bad performance, probably best to wait a week when they get a couple hot patches in, and then that usually runs pretty smoothly. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So of course this one is centering around the Hathor mining centers. The new event centers around the Hathor mining centers. You basically have to go and align several satellite dishes, then you turn on the orbital mining laser by flying up to it, and having the cards or the battery packs. You got to install the battery packs, turn the laser on, then you come down, you get into a bunker that's on the ground and see where the laser hits. And I think you can center the laser from there, and then you can go and mine these rare gems. And sort of the thing that's going on in the background here is that regen is failing. So this is apparently something that they have been planning for a while. So I'll just read a little bit of this. Imprints are failing. Regen is collapsing. Death is coming to call. Under new instruction from Imperator Addison, who, remember, Addison was kind of the technocrat. She was the one that sort of wanted to push AI and really wanted to push like the boundaries of science. That was her sort of calling as far as the Imperator goes, and we all voted for her. Make of that what you will, that there might be something deeper and sinister-y going on. Anyway, so that is going to be the main event for this one. Sort of sounds like you'll be able to trigger this laser, and then you'll finally be able to go in and break up the hand minables, or of course the new Atlas Geo minables. Curious Collector, of course, Wicklow is in there. Highly recommend checking out his place. It is kind of the first kind of collector. Yeah, Curious Collector. That's a good way to put it. Really kind of a unique mission giver that you go out, you collect weird things, bring it back to him, drop it off, and then he gives you access to a thing. He's got like an armored suit in there. He's got some special weapons. If we believe it, there's a combat version of the Atlas chassis in there. Not the Titan. It is a combat version of the Atlas chassis. I am still dubious. I am still of mind that it might be two things at once, both a triggerfish and an actual thing you can get in the game somehow, but it's not the Titan suit. Anyway, Orbital Assault, that's just the vid that talks about it. I recommend watching that. And then we got the new ships. Now, this is the thing that is a pleasant surprise. They were both cheaper than I was expecting, but let's go down here. They got their ship offers that they always do. The Atlas is the one with the tractor beam, not the one with the mining. $40. The Atlas Geo is only $45. So it's only as expensive as a full computer game these days, but still pretty cool. If you like mining, pretty much the way to go. I still say it was a missed opportunity, that they should have made these things modular as opposed to variants, but what are you going to do? And then, of course, they have the Ares Inferno and the Ares Ion. This is the laser and the Brute version. I think I saw the Centurion there. Yep. The Corsair. The Corsair has some cool skins. I'll get to that in a second. Cyclone AA, which this is something that I always say, is that if you're going to get the AA, it does have an EMP, but if you're going to get the AA, you might as well get the MT because it also comes with missiles. Doesn't have an EMP, but it's got a turret gun. And then I always pull that and put it in an energy one so that the person sitting in the turret doesn't run out of things to do when they run out of ammo. And then they have the Super Hornet, Lightning, Golem, of course, Hammerhead, Hurricane, the Tonk, Polaris, which isn't limited, so you can buy it if you have $975 burning a hole in your pocket. The Redeemer, the Retaliator, the Spartan, they're pushing this is also the Atlas chassis, by the way. Not to be confused with the other Atlas. The Storm, which we were calling the Stonk, the Storm AA, which actually is pretty useful if you're wanting to lock down an LZ. I would almost go for the AA over the regular Storm with its gun. Just it's good until you run out of missiles. I've not tested missiles this patch. I want to say they nerfed them this patch. They're always going overpowered or nerfed, and you're never quite sure which one you're going to get. But I think they're on a nerf this time, but who knows. Ursa, always useful. Here's the Valkyrie. One of the best, hands down the best dropship in the game, and they've upped its cargo capacity, so now it's even better. So the Valkyrie, is it worth $375? I don't know. You're a grown-ass adult. You figure it out. It's one of the best dropships in the game, so if you always wanted to be a dropship pilot or something, and you got almost $400 burning a hole in your pocket, hey, there you go. This is the one that I was talking about with the downburst. So you get, let's see if I can call up the picture here. You get this special skin, which looks a little Hurston-y to me. And you get a full suit of armor, this new armor that they've got that looks like Wickelow's version, and the lightning gun. So you get the energy assault rifle, Banu Ana armor, WoW helmet, and WoW core and arms and legs, so you get the whole set for $30. So for a skin and the full armor set and the gun, is it worth it? I don't know. If that's your bag and you really like the Corsair, which the Corsair was recently de-nerfed this patch, it's got all 4 guns back. Yeah, might be worth it, especially if you like the skin, you like the armor. Again, $30 if you think it's worth $30. There you go. Cutlass Black starter pack. Cuddy Black is probably one of the best all-arounders in the game, so that's not bad. You're saving like $10-20 after taxes. The minor starting pack, let's see what's in the minor starting pack. Just the Golem, and let's see. Oh, it's a full-on game pack. So 67. How much was the actual Golem itself? Where's all those ships? So the Golem's 60. So yeah, that's actually not a bad deal. You're getting the Golem, which again is super tiny. It's about the size of an Aurora, and it's a mining ship. So this thing will print money, and it's the size of an Aurora. And you get a starter pack, which probably comes with the 20K, I'm guessing. Yeah, 20K lifetime insurance, not bad. Digital download, rock fall paint, that really pumps your nads. Not bad. That's a good deal. Yeah, especially if you have someone that you think would like a starter pack or like to get into the game and you think they'd like mining, that is a good deal. This, probably not so much. Cuddy's always kind of, I usually tell people if they've got like $120 to burn and they really want to get into the game, Cuddy's a pretty good one to start with. They got the Warbond Tonk, Drake Corsair, They've got the upgrade in there and that kind of thing. So yeah, all in all, not bad. Let's go ahead and look at the Atlas Geo. So this thing is pretty cool. They have got the mining beam on there, and it does have the both. You can both break the rock and retrieve the rock. It's not like it blows up the rock like the hand mineable, like the multi-tool. And then you have to individually pick up the rocks. This thing's got a tractor beam built in. So it's more like the Prospector or the Golem is, or the rock. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. It has a tractor beam for hoovering up rocks, not for moving stuff around. It does have the jump jets, which is pretty nice. Dubious use for mining, but it does speak volumes of what is coming for this chassis. And I hope they have that jump pack as a module that you will be able to put on any Atlas chassis, because it would be nice to be able to put it on the tractor beam one just to get around a little bit quicker. But here you go. So it's got the jump pack. This whole thing opens up and you can put it fills up a cargo box like there. You can see it right there. 10SE or CSEU box. So the little ones, you can just pull those in and out. So in whatever ship you're bring like 10 of these boxes, and you could make a pretty good deal of money on that. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at these pictures, because I am a total concept art whore. Yeah, get in there all deep, like just put it right up its board hole. Yeah, so you can sort of see this guy's doing exactly what I was saying. There you go. Great minds think alike. Okay, so there we got that. The different skins, so let's check these out. So that's standard right there's green. You got the sort of safety orange, sort of gray and yellow. Almost looks like racing colors. That's pretty cool. This paint is exclusively available to members of the Chairman Club. So you had to have spent, I think, $1,000 is the entry level for that, but pretty cool skin. Probably pick that up. I'm definitely picking one of these up. I'm not sure how many of the paints I'll pick. That's pretty cool too, in the blue and white. Kind of like that wouldn't buy it for a combat ship, but for something like this, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so again, $40 is a pleasant surprise. I was thinking, and again, this is new money. You can upgrade to it and pay $45, or use store credit and $45. So if you wanted to upgrade from another Atlas, or I believe the MPUV is cheaper than this, you could upgrade to that. $40 new money though. So if you got $40 burning a hole in your pocket, you can get this thing straight up, assuming that comes with LTI. Let me look. Yeah, lifetime insurance, but no starter pack. And then of course they've got the different packs. Atlas Duo. So this one, you can see there's not a jump pack on this one. This is the cargo mover, the big tractor beam, and then you got the miner. Same thing. I would say hold off on this, because they're almost certainly going to be releasing a salvager version of this in the near future, and then they'll have a 3-pack, and savings on that'll probably be good. Then you just start getting down to the ridiculous thing: 8 paint pack, 6 paint pack, and then all the individual paints, just if you like one over the other. So that is the Atlas Geo. So again, pleasant surprise. It's not as expensive as I was thinking it was going to be. I was thinking they might go up to 60 or 65 on this one. They didn't. They went the other direction. So I guess they heard the community that maybe $40 for a walker was a bit much. Let's take a look at the Drake Golem. So one thing I noticed about this that was kind of cool is outside of the Golem, hold up just a second and I'll show you. I'm pretty sure that armor right there is new, or at least the chest pieces. I know the helmet is Morozkov, I forget what it is, SH or something like that. But here is, you can see this thing is super tiny. There is no living quarters in this thing. It's basically just this. Y'all are gonna have to live with my dogs playing tug in the background. Yeah, so this is a kit bash, which if this were Origin, that would be super weird, and I'd be saying that's That's really cheap. CIG, what are you doing? This is Drake. Drake's cheap. So yeah, it makes total sense that you've got the mule right there. You've got the Rambler back here, the Drake cutter. And then you just kind of got something else smashed in between. And then it's got these two ore containers that you can just pop off. And they come out really easily. They always learn on these things. So it's not like the Prospector where the bags got stuck behind those arms. And they eventually pulled those arms out. Now, the question is, will this thing do the same thing that all the mining bags do, where the attachment point is up here? And so when it's attached to the cargo grid or the physics grid, it sinks into the ground up to the halfway point. And if you try to touch it, it'll cargo containers. So yeah, they'll sink into the ground if you put them on a cargo elevator. So don't do that. I'm not sure when CIG is going to fix that, but they need to fix it pretty soon. From what I understand, this laser is actually bespoke, so you can't change out the laser head. You can add different attachments to it, so different modules to make it do other things, but the laser itself is apparently less effective than the one in the Prospector. So this truly is a mining starter. And because I know people were asking, it is a size 1 mining laser. It does have 2 size 1 weapons. I believe, I'm not seeing it on here, but it does have 2 size 1 missiles as well that are kind of tucked up underneath. He has a lot to say today. So again, concept art. Let's know what you're getting there. Yeah, so you see that right there is the entire interior. Here's the different paint jobs. So you got factory standard. This is the one that you'll get. Test, of course, will love that. This is probably the one that I would get. I've got the mole carbon, which is the black one, which when I got it, I didn't realize they were never going to sell that again, but apparently they aren't. We haven't seen it since. So this one just looks chaotic, which might be your bag. I don't know. The blue and white again, which is very clean looking, very industrial. Flashpoint. I don't know. That looks Star Wars-y. Rockfall, that looks more military-ish. So there you go. Those are the paints. Mining stripes, again, you got the deal. $55 new money, which again is pretty good. That is roughly what all the starters are going for, I believe, or most of them. So it's not a bad deal. That's $55 is new money. $60 is its actual cost. So if you're upgrading to it, or if you buy it at the end of the year, it's going to be $60. So let's see. They do have the starter pack for 67, which in my opinion, pretty good deal. Yeah. If you're just thinking about getting into the game, you think mining looks fun. That's a pretty good screaming deal on the back. Only downside with the ship that I can see is that you won't be able to log off on it or take care of anything like any of the social aspects. It doesn't have a shoilet, but then again, the poop loop isn't in the game yet, so you're fine. So here we go. Here's all the paints. $3 a piece isn't too weird. They usually have one that's rare. So this Keystone paint is going to be the rare one, apparently. Which one was the Keystone? Is that the blue one? Yeah, that's the blue one. That's the one that kind of looks pretty. So figures they'd make that one. Oh, and the fault line. So the Chaos one was also 5. Interesting. The one I liked was only 3. See, I'm cheap. And gang, that is it. Get on out there, hop on in. Like I said, if you're not a fan of bugs, definitely hold off a little bit. Like just maybe wait a week, give them a chance to sort of run in the hot fixes. There's always things that break the first day or 2 out. They are learning, and they've released this on a Thursday, which is good because they used to release these things on a Friday, then go away for the weekend, and people would be like, well, I can't play this, and they go do something else. Nowadays, they tend to release them on Wednesdays or Thursdays. do like a real quick hot fix for the most egregious bugs or like full on showstoppers. And usually you get something working by the weekend. But that's all I got for this one, gang. So let me know what you think about the patch below, what you think of these 2 new ships. They're kind of cool. Good little starters. I still hope that one day we start getting starting packs with something like this, but that'll probably have to wait until the day that we actually have working NPCs that players could sign on to and just kind of go out as, I want to be on a Geo crew on, say, a Liberator, and a NPC Liberator will just fly them out and say, your quota is to collect 200 whatever SCU by the end of the day. I don't know. Be kind of cool, but it's a long ways off. That's all I got, gang. Catch you next time.